Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill, and I'm doing another Beyond Code Live. So this is part 4 of our bit on authentication. We're doing Google, we're adding Google to basically kind of recreating an Auth 0 type of thing. So there's going to be Google sign-in. Eventually, later on, there's going to be Microsoft sign-in and LinkedIn sign-in and a couple other things. But right now, we're just doing Google sign-in, and we got the part done where we have the Google sign-in in the browser. Let me see if I can actually bring that up. So here we go. Yep, I want to sign in. And then the error here, if I am correct, which hopefully I am, is just that there we go. We got the ID token just fine from Google, and the error is that we don't have the endpoint yet set up to be able to do something with that token that we've got on the front end, so that's where we're at. I've got comments open on both the YouTubes and the Twitches, so feel free to hit me up there. I'm going to try to keep an eye on that as we go. And I've got about 45 minutes that I need to get this done in. So we'll go ahead and get started, or rather continue. Okay, so I've got to stop saying okay so. It sounds like I'm doing a really bad talking about cheese. Okay so, A queso, B queso, C queso. Anyway, this is the route that we need to implement. We're trying to post the token to this API auth-in session OIDC google.com, because this is, we're going to have also microsoft.com, and then the API auth-in session is reserved for the email password login, which in one case won't actually be used. I'm developing this for two different companies. One of them won't be using it. The other one of them is only using Google Login because it's all internal company stuff. The other one's external because it's software as a service. Anyway, we'll be adding Microsoft.com, LinkedIn.com, etc. So that's why it's delineated that way. And I need to get back into the app.js, kind of give myself a refresher here. I think there's just not even a stub for this. Let's see. Yeah. Not even a stub. One thing that I do need to do, though, let me check and see. Does the error get printed out here? No. Okay. Let me check and see. Do I still have the... This was not open. I might need to reopen this. Oops. Huh. What the heck is Grease Lion? Okay. I'm going to go back. I guess if I just refresh this, yeah, I should get that same unexpected error. There we go. But nothing in the network tab? Did I not have the right tab open here? All right, there we go. Unexpected token at JSON position 0. Okay, there we go. So one thing I want to change is that any error that comes under /API, I actually want that to come back as JSON, even if it's a not found. Or maybe I should leave it the same. I don't know. I kind of like the idea that anything under /API comes back as JSON, unless it's explicitly documented to be something else. You know, it is where you download a file or something like that. So I don't know. I'm going to check and see what this ends up looking like. I think what we have here, I don't think that not found is technically an error. It just falls through to the default handler. So I guess what I should do then is just create a handler. So I think I should just do this. And by the way, right now I am having an ocular migraine, which is not very common for me, but I have gotten them over the years. So basically, there is a tear in my vision right now. So as I look at this, those of you that have had ocular migraines know what I'm talking about. Those of you that haven't, it sounds really weird, but it's basically just like your eyes are getting too much blood or not enough blood or something like that. And you can see things, but you can't understand them. They're there, but they don't make sense, which of course doesn't make sense. So I'm struggling a little bit to read my screen right now. It'll probably go away in about 15 minutes. When I've had them in the past, that's usually how long they last. 15 on the short end and 30 on the long end. But I'm hydrated and everything, so I think they've come in the past for me from dehydration. So I'm just going to try to go with it, even though it's kind of bugging me out to see half of letters. Okay, I can switch my eyes back and forth and do a little better there. Okay, so what we want to have here, res.status code equals 404, and then we'll just repeat code. I guess repeat status 404, code should be not found. And this is arbitrary, of course. I'm just making this up. And then this is going to be a message for developers. There we go. I think that should be good enough. And I've got watch exec going on in the background here. So every time I make a change, the server's automatically restarting. Okay, no token, something went wrong. Good. I like that a lot better, to have a handled error rather than an unhandled error. Also, on the front end real quick, I probably should find where that particular case was. Okay, no token, but something went wrong. So right here, all right, unexpected error. I want to change this a little bit. All right. Oops. There was an unexpected error on the server. It's not your fault. And then let's put in some new lines here. Technical details for tech support. There we go. And I don't like having super long strings, so let's just go ahead and do like this. Maybe I should do back there. Okay. This is what I want to do. I want the user to display the message to display to the user like this, I think. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's a little bit better experience in the worst case. Of course, this is just a demo, so that doesn't much matter, but still. If this is going to be templated, this is the code that I'm going to give as well, I'm going to have to wrap it up a little bit to make it a little more self-contained. But this is the code I'm going to give as demo code, and so there's a good chance that what I have there is going to stay there, and it's not a bad message to have, although they should replace it with their own modal. Okay, although it should. Oh no, that wouldn't show up on that side. Okay, so now, dang it. Okay, so I got to find a better. Well, one, I got to stop using filler words and verbal stutters. But I got to find a better one if I'm going to keep doing it. All right, I'm really having a hard time seeing what's on the screen right now. It is all just, it's almost like lightning going across in front of me. So if you, actually if you can imagine like lightning kind of blinding you for a second, and you see those little traces and stuff, and so you can see things, but you can't really see them, and there's stuff in the way. That's kind of what an ocular migraine is like, and it is getting worse. So it will get better, of course, but right now, like when it starts out, it's not so bad, and then it gets a little worse, and then it goes away, and then you're fine. And sometimes you get a headache afterwards, which hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'll pop some ibuprofen just in case after this. But yeah, it's getting really hard to read the screen, but I really want to get this done. So google.com. We want to verify, I think I had a verify token. Okay, this is a little bit difficult. Let me check what my verify session is. I'm looking to see if there are cookies. Verify ID token. No, that's our own ID token. I need to go back to the blog article I've been referencing. And, oh yeah, I think this is what I got right here. So here is what the middleware should look like. Okay, I'm just going to paste this in here. The verify Google token. I'll rename it. Although, technically, should I be able to do this with any? Oh, this is not even me inspecting it. Yeah, this is just generic OIDC here, I think. Well, no, because we need to... We do need a verify Google token function because we do need to restrict this. So I'm going to say, let's pass issuer in here. We're going to allow a couple of different issuers. And verify Google token. Oh, and also this. Oh, okay. Yeah, see what we got to do here. And technically, since this is JavaScript, let's do that in the appropriate casing. All right, that's good enough for now. Gosh, I'm having a hard time seeing. Oh man, it's everywhere. Thank goodness I didn't start driving to work already. It's the worst when you have an ocular migraine while you're driving, because it's hard to understand signs. They're there, but they're not there. Okay. Verify Google token. I think we just put this right here. Although I can't actually see what's in front of me. I think that was it. Yeah. Verify Google token is going to return this, which is going to return a middleware, which is going to use key fetch, which, by the way, I should make sure that I have key fetch. I don't think I actually got that yet. Key fetch is what I use for verifying JWTs. It's a little bit, well, I wrote it too, but it's more strict and more secure than some of the other libraries. So it will actually give you an error if things like issuer and expiration and JTI are missing unless you explicitly say that you expect them to be false. And then I don't remember if this version caches or not. Let me go back to, is it a capital K? Is that how I did it? I could have sworn. Oh, no, it is there. It already was there. Okay, great. So that's already there. Okay, that is a capital K. I can't tell. I can barely make out the letters as they are. Oh. Okay, so verify ID token. Oh, that one was already there. Where's the Google one? Verify ODC token. Okay, that's capital K2, I think. Oh, and I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache too. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go run down and grab some ibuprofen because it's going to take 30 minutes for that to kick in. So 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Whoops, I cannot see. There we go. All right, and I'm back. I want to explain this verify ODC, OIDC token real quick. So the middleware is going to get the bearer token. That's the JWT, we're assuming is a JWT. And then keyfetch.jwt.verify is going to parse the JWT. It's going to look at the issuer. And then with the verify ops, it's going to make sure if we specify we only want to accept tokens from a particular issuer, then we can tell it that we only accept tokens from this particular issuer. And then I want to do a sanity check on this because I need to. We're gonna do this too, actually. If decoded.iss is not equal to issuer Throw new error. I need to go look at the documentation and make sure that it functions that way, but I'm pretty sure that it does, because the whole point of the verify and the verify ops was to make sure that the things that are in the verify ops are verified, or if they're set to false, it means they're not verified. But I just want to have a little bit of sanity check on that until I do go back and look that up. So if it's not verified, it's going to give an error. So if the key, particularly the signing, doesn't match, the expiration is passed, things that are in the verify options aren't set, it's going to throw an error. Oh, which means that I also need to... Oh, yeah, let me... I can just do it like this. Here we go. So for those of you that were not present when I set up the boilerplate, I am using async router, which makes it so that all errors are caught. Whoops, let me get back down here. So the errors are caught appropriately, and I don't have to call next. I can just return. Well, in this case, I do have to call next. So I might as well just leave that the way that it was. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Because this is middleware. Yeah. I probably should keep that the way that it was, actually. That's appropriate for middleware. Yep. Okay, cool. But yeah, for the general routes, I take a couple of shortcuts now that I'm using that. And that's also something that I forked it off of somebody else's work and fixed a couple of bugs because the project was kind of dead. And I guess, I don't know if you'd call it bugs or features, but it didn't handle some things that I wanted, particularly error handling. So I fixed that. Okay, cool. And my ocular migraine is starting to recede, which this is one of the reasons that you can't take Advil specifically for an ocular migraine, is because they come and go so quickly that the Advil has no time to take effect. But the headache that comes afterwards, that you have time to take effect for. Anyway, I've got the verify OIDC set up, went through that, feel good about it. So I've got verify Google token in place here somewhere. Okay, good. I've got it right there. And then did we label these as async? Need to label those as async. No, I don't, because they return async functions. They themselves are not async functions. Got it. All right, so at this point, I should have a JWS. So there should be rec.jws, and it should contain some interesting information. I believe that the subject is the email address. Let's go back and take a look at what the Google token looks like when it's decoded. No. Email. Email is the email address for Google. Okay. And email verified should be true. I don't think that there's a case where you'd ever get a token back that isn't true from Google, but we should double check that. rec.jws.email verified. So if the email is not verified, then we should throw an error. Let's say Google account has not yet been verified. Oh, sounds like my daughter's awake. I might have to pause here in just a second. error.code equals I'll just call this invalid token. I think that will sum that up fairly well. And then let's just throw the error right here. I thought the ocular migraine was over, but it's actually coming back a little bit. All right, and then here, this is where, based on the email address, we need to go look up user claims. So where was verify user? Whoops, verify user. There we go. And what were we doing after that? There needed to be a stub or something. Okay, get user claims. That's what we wanted to do. Get user claims. And how are we doing that? Okay. That is what's going to have to be replaced here. I'm just gonna, this is one of the functions that's going to need to be replaced with the actual go look up the user in the database and whatnot. So if rec.jws doing some kind of hokey here. Where was the other place this was used? So we're going to verify the user. That should probably return some user info. Get user claims based on what the user is. Yeah, something like that. So this is to do fill in how to get user. We'll do that once we get connected to the database. Okay. And okay, what was it complaining about here? Missing semicolon on line 18, which is line 18. That's what? Oh, 159. I'll let error equal. There we go. That's the problem. Stuff like that is especially hard to spot right now. So really, what we want to do is we want to separate this out. Like this whole bit right here is going to get repeated a bunch. So I think what we're going to need to do is have a verify user by email. Yeah. And this whole bit is going to get repeated for any type of login, whether they're logging in with Google or they're logging in with a username and password, whatever it is. So let me start that process now. Let's say, okay, let's say that user is going to await verify user. Verify Google user maybe? And this should return back not just true, but should return back some sort of user info, maybe. And then do the get claims on the user. which it seems like those two things would just end up going together. Because when we do the database call to verify the user by password, no. Let me think on this. So this will be some sort of get user by email. Rec.jws.email. I don't know. I don't know exactly what this is going to be. I need to not spend too much time on it because this is going to happen when I start replacing this with the actual code that connects to the actual database and stuff. But I will go ahead and say that I do want to be able to get the user by email. And all the rest of this is probably right. So let's call this exchange token and say that we're going to take the user or grant token maybe would be a better way to put that. And let's go back up here just above all of that. And we'll have another helper function, grant token, and it'll take a user and it'll do what it needs to do. To give back a valid token, as well as maybe this part should stay in those routes. No, that needs to stay in with that. This is the battle of implicit versus explicit. I'll call this grant token and cookie. Set auth and refresher. Why does it not like that? Missing semicolon. Okay, what's going on? That's returning when it shouldn't. This should be async. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't like hiding things away. And I feel like although this has code that is almost exactly the same as right here, and I do want to do this, let user equals await verify user by password is what that will be. And so then I can replace all of this with just return grant token and cookie, and then user and then res. So although those two are very similar, I'm not sure if I actually should be collapsing them or not. And then this one's the same as well. So yeah, I mean, it does make sense because we want all three of these to be the same. Well, this one, I don't know that I really should be granting the cookie on this one, no. So this one's just a grant token. But similarly, I could factor that out and just say grant token. Set auth and refresh. Yeah, this we should not have in this endpoint. So let me get rid of all of this. And then I need to go change the name of verify user to be verify user by password. I guess I could put all of that in here. Let's call this get user by password. What was the other one? Get user by email. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we should not be refreshing the cookie every time we refresh the short-lived token. So let's get rid of this and see, is there anything between the two that ought to be the same? We should not have that there. Grant token. Yeah, I don't want to go too crazy on this. There is common code between these two functions, but I don't want to flatten it any further. Not right now, at least. Because then you get too many layers, and it's better to have a little bit of duplicated code than it is to have your code completely non-duplicate, but then have a hard time understanding it. So, prudence. And then did we implement a get user? Get user by password. Get user by email. We're going to take in an email here. And then I'm just going to do. And then here we ought to do something as well. Use the database in these places. And that'll be part 5, is we'll go fill this in with the database stuff. Well, maybe it won't be, because it'll be actual customer database that I can't air on TV, like, as such. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as I go through this today. All right, so we got the user by email. And then we're going to return the token and cookie, which I think I'm going to do something different about that. All right, now we've got this implemented, essentially. Let me see if there's any other hints in here I need to remember. Yeah, exchange token, verify the sign-in, exchange the token. Yep. Oh, we do need to implement a sign out. That's something that we might be able to do in the next 5 minutes. First, let's go ahead and give this a test. Now, this is something where, because it's a real Google token, I am not clear what the right way to automate this sort of test would be, because you have to have a real Google account. So I think this is the kind of thing where you get some automated tests for the pieces around this, and maybe allow in the test, maybe do something to allow expired tokens in the test and just save a real token like what I have here. So this is a real token, but it's also a junk token. But I could say that if it's development, where's my verify function? Key fetch dot jwt dot verify. Do I want to put some other? So I could do maybe this, if development, then allow expired tokens. I don't know if I like this, but I'm gonna try it out. And I think this needs to go up a level. Let's call this verify ops. And then let's say here, we're going to take verify ops. And then if undefined, because we want to allow false, is type of verify ops.iss. No, that's not what I need to do. Yeah, I don't need to do this at all. Okay, what did I have in my paste buffer there? Oh, that was that token. I don't want that right now. We're going to let that fall out of the paste buffer. Okay. So I don't even want to put that there, but I do want to put verify ops.issuer is equal to. I mean, I guess we could just test it against something that isn't Google as well. We could use a different token authority for the purposes of automated testing. That's probably what we should do, is just have a little mock token authority and then give it that the issuer is localhost, and that would do a decent enough job of being able to test that. So I'm going to leave this as is for now then, and just say that I wouldn't test the Google specific functionality. I would test that it works for anything, and then in the manual tests we would test the Google login, which would probably be something that has to happen anyway. Verify ops.issuer. But I will say that I might want to pass in some additional options, so oops, let's not forget that bit. Okay, where are we at now? We need to still actually run this code with the front end, but I wanted to add this to the test. So let's do example.env Google test token. No, so I still do want this. I really do. I really do. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to change that one more time. Verify Google token. Where's that being set up? Right here. So we won't check expiration. Well, maybe I want to put that up higher. I don't think this is the right place for where that should go for readability. Let's bring that up here with like the cookie secret and all that. Do we have anything else that's depending on dev environment? Yeah, there we go. Dev/localhost stuff. Cool. Let's just put that in there then. So another thing that we need to do, gosh, This is kind of important. We need to make sure that not just that the issuer is correct, but the app is correct for this. Let me take a look at what that is here. Yeah, this could be like super dangerous if we don't check that as well. So we need to check that the audience is the same as, let's go ahead and take a look at this token that I just copied. We'll use key pairs to do that. Let me check. See, do we have any questions or comments floating in the chat right now? No. Okay. Just want to double check on that. Okay, we're running up against time here, so I really do need to wrap this up. But let's inspect this real quick. Okay. Decoded. They look exactly the same. So I'm pretty sure this is the client ID. That's what we should find. So what we need to do here, is this our client ID? Let's just paste. Whoa, no. What are you doing? Stop. What the heck? How did that happen? Oh no. I think I accidentally did a copy all of my terminal history. I guess I just gotta wait for that and then hit undo. Oh man. I don't even know how to get out of this. I'm stuck. Ah. Crap. I'm gonna have to... kill Vim. So let's delete that a little bit there. And let's go back and capture just the part that we needed, not the entire everything. Let me... Bah. I guess I'm just going to have to run that again. Okay. And I put spaces in front of this so it doesn't save it in my history. All right. Copy just that. Thank you very much. Okay, that's what I expected. Yes, so that is the client ID. So we also need to make sure not only that the issuer is correct, but we need to make sure that the audience is correct. Probably both the audience and the authorized party in the token, the AZP and the AUD that we saw there. Let me go back and show that again real quick. Whoops. There we go. So audience, authorized party. One means who the token will be used by, and I guess AZP is just the one that we really need. And the other is who the token is issued in behalf of. Okay, so where's my verify? Where's my Google token? Verify Google token. Okay, let JWS equal. And then if JWS dot claims dot, oh, and this should be claims too, by the way. Or should that be header? I always forget if that's claims or header. Can we scroll back here? Crap. Let me scroll back. See if I can find it. Header is issuer, claim. No, claims is issuer. Got it. Alrighty. So in the Google function, we need to check claims.azp not equal to process.env.google client ID. And this should be cleaned up because I don't like putting global variables inside of something. We should pass this in. So maybe I should just pass it in right here. Client ID. That makes me feel better. Oops. So again, let error equals new error. We're going to throw the error, but we want to be able to put a code on it. And the code ought to be invalid token. This Google token does not belong to this app. Excellent. And then return JWS. No. I'll just return it. We want to set it, right? rec.jws equals JWS. Okay, that should do. Oh wait, we don't do that there. Verify Google token. Oh, darn it. No, because we need to wrap this whole thing here. So what we need to do is give an additional verifier here. This is what we're going to do. And then this should take another verifier, and then if not verifier, we'll just make this simple. Yeah, okay. That'll work. And then we need to just await. So this actually should return. So it's going to take JWS. How are we going to do this? I think it should work that way. Maybe it doesn't need to work that way. Yeah, let's just make it not need to work that way. So we'll do await verifier JWS. Like that. No, decoded. Needs to be decoded. Missing semicolon. Oh, let's go ahead and just do this bit here then. I'm over time, but I'm going to finish this up anyway. So let's not do that. Let's not call it decoded. Oh, wait, did we want to do that because of the whole catch and next thing? Yes, that's why we had it that way. All right, so we'll go back to having it this way. And it is okay to have async function inside of a promise. Yep, okay, that's good. So we can do await here. Keep on pasting this thing so I can get it back in my copy buffer. Okay, now we're going to go down to where there was the verify Google whatchamajig here. Verify Google token takes client ID and verify ops. Cool. All right, I think that that's correct. So now let's test it, and we shall see, and we should be able to test it with this token, even if it's expired. Oh, I don't want test token in there, duh. That's the example bit. And then we need a real one here. And then where's my little test.sh? Okay. Let's try that. All right. Sub of undefined. App.js 95. No surprise, we changed a bunch of things. Get user claims. Yeah, all of the instances of get user claims. Oh, except this one. I don't know if that's how this should look. Verify ID. Oops. All right. And user claims. Now this is just going to be user. And so now it should just be returning user dot sub. And we'll clean this up later because some of the stuff, yeah, I think user claims, one of the things that's going to be on here is, for example, roles. Like, is this user an admin? That sort of thing. All right, missing or invalid session. Log out and log out again. Expecting error. Good. Invalid numeric literal at line 1, column 9. Ugh, I don't know what that means. Expecting, whoops. Let's go to the test here. Expecting error. And then it didn't get this far. So I'm guessing the refresh endpoint is, I messed it up. So grant token is doing what now? It's returning an ID token with the JWT. So that looks right for our refresh endpoint. Is our refresh endpoint still checking cookies the same way? Verify session, verify session. How's it verifying session? Checking that signed cookies has an ID token. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the test, and I am going to just see what the output of this is. Missing or invalid session from the refresh. But it should have got a refresh because it should have cookies in the cookie jar. Let's take a look. It looks right to me. Do we have our env set to development properly? Env equals development. All right. Well, that's a different thing than what I want to debug right now. So I'm going to go ahead and comment out, or let me just move this test up to the beginning, because this is what I want to check. Then I'm going to whip commit this and get on with my day. And then I'll probably have to fix that off camera. I'll try to come back and tell you what it was. Okay, are we expecting an access token or an ID token here? I think we're expecting an ID token. Well, this is good. Oh, you know what? I know why that refresh didn't work. Refresh. Because I didn't copy the other options, duh. So, but we'll see what's going on here. Invalid numeric value. That's not this, is it? Parse error. I'm not sure where the parse error is coming from. Let me go ahead and -v to that so we can see everything coming out. All right, bear. Invalid numeric literal. So I think that's coming from the server. Could not parse JWT, unexpected error. Okay, so let's take a look at what the JWT looks like. Okay, verify Google token. Verify OIDC token. Do we get to see... Huh, nothing. That's odd. What am I not doing that I ought to be doing here? Google test token. So let me go ahead and echo out what is the Google test token. Sanity check, sanity check, sanity check. Come on. What's going on, Vim? Why are you taking so long? My Vim froze. It's probably prettier doing something strange. I was typing too fast. Too many saves. Let me do a kill all Vim here. No, it's more than that. The terminal is frozen. Let's see if I can open and close tabs. Okay, so I'm not out of RAM. I don't have that many tabs open in the first place. Why is my computer hung? Force quit. Makes me sad, but it's what I had to do. Very strange. Very, very strange. Things are running super redonkulously slow. What the heck has happened? All right, we're going to go into our projects for Auth 3000, and we're going to run watch exec. Already in use, huh? Okay, kill all node. Kill all Vim. All right, same thing. Whoops. All right, up and running again. Don't know what happened there. Also don't know when that got moved over a touch. Okay, let's try running this again. And what do we get? Okay, it's sending a bearer token. I can see that. It's got an internal error. It's having an error parsing. It's not seeing the JWT. So let's go take a look at that. Bearer. rec.headers.authorization. Verify ID token. Is that what we wanted? Verify OIDC. Verify Google token. So it's going to return this. It's getting back nothing. Oh, rec.headers. Duh. I think I had a typo in my blog article there. Oh, whoops. I need to kill all watch exec. Apparently, it started up in the other terminal. Okay, whoops. I didn't want to go in there. I just want to run this test again. And let's see, what do we get? All right, EXP has passed or could not be parsed. That's okay. Because, first of all, let's go ahead and manually check this out. That's interesting. It seemed to work there. Oh, token expired. Okay, cool. So inspect. Sweet. Does that make sense? Yeah, token expired a few minutes ago. Excellent. So, but we should be allowing the expired token. Didn't I put somewhere like is where there was this development thing? Google verifier. Whoops. Google verifier ops.exp equals false. Google verifier ops. Just getting passed in there. Okay, verify Google token. So I'm just going to get a new token. But I thought that if verify ops here set exp to false, that it should not verify the expiration, but apparently it is still verifying the expiration. So I got to look up the documentation on that. I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and just move on. And yet another unexpected error. Internal server error. That's okay. This token is old and invalid. So we're just going to go back, do our Google sign-in mabob. This time, I think the whole thing may go through as expected. No, why not? What is it complaining about here? JWT, could not parse JWT. What do you mean it couldn't parse the JWT? I just fixed this, didn't I? All right, let's double check. I'm going to print out headers here. Oops, not a comma. There we go. Okay, authorization is not being set. Okay, so that's fair. So I think I need to change that in the code over here. Yep, that makes sense. We didn't actually post the token. Headers. Oh no, what is going on? What is going on with my computer? I need to check. What is taking up all this CPU? Oh, I forget. What's the task manager thing? All right, I don't see anything interesting there. Oh gosh, I forget on Mac how you check processes. I thought it was console. Console's not giving me what I want. It's just giving me error logs, which I don't see any error logs. What the crap do they call Task Manager on Mac? I forgot. But something is going on here because this is highly unusual for my iTerm to freeze up. I don't know that it's like really once in a blue moon type of thing. It's somewhere under utilities. Let's see. Hold on just a second. Okay, my whole computer is frozen right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe sometimes I've had this happen when there's it installs a system update, like a new version of OS X or Mac OS now, and then one by one things start to get funkier and funkier until eventually I'm forced to reboot. So, oops. I think that maybe that's the case here. But I think I'm gonna have to reboot because everything is locking up. I'm not able to get to the applications folder. Gosh, why am I blanking on what that system, what is it called? System monitor? No. Is it here? There's the thing that shows you the stuff. All right, nothing. What is that thing called? System something? Process something? I can't get to the applications folder. Okay, other folders are loading. I'm looking at my other screen here. What is going on? There is a backup running. Let me say skip this backup. That'd be kind of weird, but it could be, you know, backups cataloging system folders or something, causing everything to crash. Okay, cool. I don't know if that fixed it or what, but it looks like we're back in business. Although, oh, and I see a comment here about Twitch being down. Yeah, Twitch sometimes doesn't load, and I don't know why. All right, so here I am, accounts.google.com. Gosh, I got so turned around. I wanted to see why I was getting an error here. The reason I was getting an error is because I don't actually have the authorization header putting in the token, result.access token. No, this is JWT, query.id token. There we go. Okay, refresh again. No token, something went wrong. Well, that's better. Let's see if we can get invalid token. Google account has not yet been verified. Interesting. So let's see if I made a typo on that. Email verified. So let's get out of that code. And then it's freezing up again. Come on. Okay, well, just everything's going wrong. I wonder if the stream is even working correctly. Because if everything's freezing up, I imagine my encoding process is freezing up as well. It looks like it's still going. Okay, now this unfroze. Great. And my headache still came, even with the ibuprofen. Just having a hard time, guys and gals. No tokens. Something went wrong. Tell me more. Let's go here. Email verified is absolutely true. Oh, dot claims. Duh. Got it. I see what's wrong. There we go. Okay. All right. Congrats, I win. I got a new token. Check my console so I can see for myself. Good. All right, so despite this, having plenty of problems with the computer and a couple of typos and all that, we do now have the token works. So also, I want to verify Google token. I just want to move this into there, I think. Yeah, into the verify Google token. Because anytime I verify a Google token, most likely this is a condition that I'm going to want to check. Yep, okay, that looks good. I'm down with that. Now, if we could get the test to run, that would be awesome. But I am hungry. I've not eaten yet. I've got a headache. I need to leave soon, so I might have to leave all of that for next time. Exchanging the Google token. Internal server error. Okay, I know why that's got an internal server error. So let's go back to this and say, oops. Yeah, so I'm going to at least update my test token, and I'll have to look into forcing it to not check expiry later. Okay, so now it's passing that part, and we're back to it failing on a different part. Let's see if we get any more error stuff in here. Cannot read sub of undefined. Okay, let's just see if we can fix that real quick, because I think that we can. All right, get user claims. Okay, that one's good. Looks good at least. This one looks good. Does this one look good? Verify ID token. Verify ID token. That's returning something. Okay, so that looks good. And what's the bit that was actually failing? I forget already. Get user claims. Is there another place where this is used? Grant token and cookie. Plain old grant token. So let's look at grant token and cookie. Get user by password. Yep, we're returning something there. Grant token and cookie, grant token and cookie. Get user by email. Yep, we got something there. All right, now let's just look at the grant token. Verify session. I don't think I updated that one. I think if I swap this up, I think all will be well. Of course, it's frozen again. Why wouldn't it be? What is going on? Oh, I actually do have an idea of what it might be. Sometimes when that hard drive gets hot, it freezes the system. And I don't have the AC on right now. I do have a little fan blowing on it, so it should be fine. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and run this test one last time. Call it good. And this is a real whip commit because I've still got console.logs in there and all sorts of stuff. Oh, and headache. Gosh, why headache? Okay. I'm out. If this was useful at all, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the live channel or the Beyond Code channel down in the doobly-doo, you have a great day. If this also, feel free to share it with somebody else if you think somebody else will get value out of this. And I am out. Adios.